Listen, we live. Stop talking.
Yeah.
This is a bad start to the conversation I'm about to have with Kendrick C. White. Thank you for joining us. This is Kimberly Robinson Alexander and the B-InPowerD Movement. You know, when I invited this gentleman on, I don't know what I was thinking. He's a whole fool, and we're going to fool around together. Ken! What's
What's
up, my
up?
man?
Well, make sure you tell the people how you bullied me into doing this, and you threatened me, and I was fearful of my life, and so I agreed to do it under distress. So if it doesn't go well, it's because you bullied me.
Nobody is going to believe that about me.
Listen,
Nobody.
I don't lie. Now, you, on the other hand, I've been told you like to lie a little bit, so I think I have a good track record. People love me. So,
People love me too, so we gonna see, because this is gonna be a run for your money here. So
well, I guarantee if you put up a poll, even people that's on here that don't know me, they're gonna be like, he looks like a very honest gentleman. I believe.
where's your wife? I need your wife. I need your wife.
See, she's not gonna go against me. So yeah.
Welcome
What's
tonight.
up?
As you can see, we are. This is my nemesis here. You know, we have this love-hate relationship, but I love me some Ken. He is a good brother. He is a family man. He is a newly ordained. He's preaching the word of God. He is a community man. He gives me a headache, but when I tell you he is a good man, he is for our people and continues to do the community work that needs to be done. He's a huge proponent of education of every kind, whether that's traditional education, trade school. He's out here giving out scholarships. He's given out $50,000 plus over the last few years to individuals going to college. Um, it is one of the ways that he and I have connected. He is a father. He has a beautiful, beautiful daughter. She looks just like her mother. And teenager now, and you know he's the founder and the CEO of Gulf Coast Organization. Just a good man all around. Ken, thank you for joining me.
Well, after that beautiful introduction, all I can say is thank you much. I'm glad
Yeah.
to be here. As the old folks would say in church, I'm glad to be in the service one more time. Let's have
Amen.
some fun.
Amen.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're a little bit younger than me, but you're still an old man. But you've been out here in these streets, and I want to talk tonight about the community work that you do and why it's so important. What made you get into this? You know, what is your driving force?
Great question. So GCO was, if you really, when I think about it, it was really something that was embedded in me as far as I can remember as a kid. Growing up in a household, I saw my dad, who's a pastor for, I don't know, 40, 50 years at this point, alongside with my mom. They're only 25 years of age. They've been married like 40 something odd years. And
You just told
uh,
me you don't lie, but go ahead. I'm listening.
yeah, well, you asked my mother how old she is then. How about that? You know, and my dad actually, he'll be celebrating a birthday in a couple of weeks, so he'll be 26. So I started. That was the foundation. Not knowing that I would be doing this type of work, but I just saw them always pouring out to others, and then the village that I had between my friends, my parents, and my aunts and uncles. I just always saw an act of giving, so it
Mhm.
was embedded in me. I still remember there was this program, this initiative in my hometown of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It was called Pat's Coats for Kids, and my mom used to go every year, and she would volunteer, and they would actually give out coats.
Mhm.
So I can still remember just being with my uncle Bubba. We used to cut grass in the summer times with him, and I'm talking about he ride, and this I'm laughing about it because I do it to this day. He would ride around with his window down, with his hand out the window, blowing at everybody, speaking to everybody. But he would show that if he could help you, he would do it. And so, fast forward, my freshman year, I completed my freshman year in college, and I got a phone call. Well, actually, I worked a summer camp,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm working with a whole bunch of kids in Baton Rouge. Actually, in the area where my home church is at is in the park. If you're from Baton Rouge, then you're familiar with the park, Gus Young area. And so that's when really it began to something. The seeds were really starting to sprout, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, didn't understand what it was. So I knew I wanted to work with kids, but I didn't know in what capacity. So of course, I've had countless people telling me you should be a teacher, you should be going to education, become a principal. And I'm like, nah, I'm a pass. I wasn't against working in education, but I didn't want to be in the classroom. I felt like that would have contained all of my energy versus and my creativity. So I always said if I worked in it, principal or school board or something like that. But I understood you had to start in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
So the following year, I get a phone call. Buddy of mine that worked the summer program with me, he called me, and there was this program. It was between Boy Scouts of America and AmeriCorps. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't your traditional. Now I'm in college at the University of New Orleans, so I'm working at in the next 2 years 6 different elementary schools, and it wasn't your traditional Boy Scouts. I'm dealing with urban inner city kids, and but I saw the impact that I made. Right, so I would have the kids come to me. They would call me Coach. Coach, Kim got in trouble today in school. You know, and we know that that wouldn't be a stretch of the imagination. And so we had created rules, and the kids created rules. So if you got in trouble, then you had to do this and do that. And
Mm-hmm.
so I saw the change in behavior, even to the point where some of the teachers and the admin were coming to me and say, "Hey, we love what you're doing. Thank you." So I graduated college in 2004. Started my family, and then I got married in 2008. We had our daughter Chloe in 2009. So in 2010, I'm in graduate school.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, this is now 2011. I'm in my last semester or gearing up for my last semester, but it's the summer prior, and everything just really came to me. And I knew I wanted something that didn't tie me down to one specific thing, like you see when somebody's raising funds for cancer
Mm-hmm.
research. I didn't want that, which is how I came up with the name Gulf Coast Organization. I wanted something that we can stretch. I can start it here in Houston, where I
Mm-hmm.
currently reside, excuse me, but we can duplicate it wherever we wanted to go, even beyond the Gulf Coast region.
Mm-hmm.
And so, thus the name Gulf Coast Organization. I began to work on putting everything together. It probably took me like a year to get my 501c3.
Mm-hmm.
The following year, we started mentoring. Well, I was always mentoring kids in some capacity, whether it be through church or what have you. And so the following year in 2013, we partnered with the city of Houston through Judge Elaine Marshall. She had started a Teen Corps program, and so we became one of the community partners. And so my responsibility, I was bringing kids to the courthouse
Mm-hmm.
the last Wednesday of every month. And I love this program because now you got kids being able to participate in real court proceedings. So
Mm-hmm.
this wasn't no phallus. This was real court cases where the kids had opportunities to defend, prosecute, serve as jurors, meet other people in the court systems. And so, and I would tell all of my scholars, hey, this is not about you becoming, an attorney or a judge or even working in the legal system, but it's about more so, it's me showing you who your competition is, me
Mm-hmm.
showing you that at many different capacities in life, you're going to have to do public speaking. So
Mm-hmm.
get comfortable with doing it, and understand who you are as an individual. So it went beyond, just the court. And so from there, we just that was the brainchild from just being a kid, seeing it around me every day, always giving. And so, and it just who I am. I am a giver at heart. So if I can help in some way, that's what I do.
You're like me. You're kind, but you're not nice. And I think that's one of the reasons why you and I jive. I didn't realize that you was as country as you are. You got an Uncle Bubba.
Bubba, Uncle Bubba. But you see what this mug says, right?
Number one
Number one
dad.
dad. You
That's
can't
all right.
be
You still
just because
kind,
I'm
not nice.
nice. Just because I'm nice.
You might be nice to Chloe, but I don't know if you're nice to anybody else.
Well, you might have a point. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, if you got an Uncle Bubba, you definitely country, straight country. Um,
Yep.
I remember when you used to come pick up my teens and take them to teen court, and you said something. You said competition, and I think that what a lot of our inner city kids don't realize, don't see, and don't know is that though they sit in a space where they're in competition, sitting next to someone their age, like them, and even people who are older and already in the industry, I think one of the things that Teen Court did for my children, and probably for a lot of others, is it showed them that they weren't that far off the mark.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important in this day and age that our youth understand that they are not so far behind the eight ball. You know, we talk about other countries, we talk about other kids. You call your teens, your students scholars because you see the majesty, you see the brilliance, you see it in them, even when they're having a hard time. What was your motivation to make sure that even that kid that seems unreachable is seen?
Well, to your point, I think that so many kids, let me speak for Black kids. I think sometimes we box ourselves out
Mm-hmm.
because we don't think that we can.
Mm-hmm.
And so I come from middle class. We didn't have everything that we wanted, but we had everything we needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we were in that category where uh, maybe we can't do everything that we want to do, and then we don't qualify for these other things. So when I created the organization, I wanted to be well-rounded where regardless of your background, your ethnicity, or whatever, the resources that your family has, I just believe that information should be made available to everybody, right? So, but when we look at Black kids, I've seen it firsthand. I've experienced it where even for me, where people have identified me, oh, you think you better than us. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe it's because, you went to college or even with my country accent, I know how to speak properly, just the
Mm-hmm.
crazy things that you don't think about. And so I wanted to make sure that our kids know that you can strive to be whatever it is that you want, even though we don't always see it. I can still remember in grade school, the teacher goes around, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? And we
Mm-hmm.
hear everything except for the things that we see in our community. I want to be a
Yes.
fireman. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. You might have some kid that I want to be a preacher. That you might have one. I want to be the president, right? But then when we go back to our communities, what do we see? We see broken families. We see
Mm-hmm.
broken homes. We see the dad not there. The dad got multiple families or whatever. Or we see our families working, in blue collar jobs where they're working in the plants or city work. And none of those things, there's nothing wrong with none of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in some way along the line, we began to put in our mind that that's not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one on the opposite, believe that that can be great enough. If nothing else is a great start to a jump start, right? It's a jump start to a great start. You have to start somewhere. That's why I believe that education is a great segue when you're graduating from high school. Now, for those who say, well, and it doesn't have to be the traditional setting where you go into college. So you
Right.
have to educate yourself in some shape, form, or fashion, whether it be college or the military or a formal trade,
Mm-hmm.
right? And once you can see that road, then you can really begin to nurture and begin to say, okay, now I know I can see beyond my current situation. And that goes for all of us. And so
Mm-hmm.
I tried to pour back, I tried to give them information that I didn't have when I was their age. The unfortunate reality is they all don't want to listen. They don't always receive it, right?
Mm.
It's just like as a parent, you know this. You tell your
Plant
I
the
tell my
seed though.
daughter
You
this all the time.
planting the seed. We don't
Yeah,
always
yeah,
have
but
the opportunity to watch it grow. As long as we're
yeah,
planting it, you know. And
absolutely,
you said a great thing there because you know we want these prestigious or these affluent, what we assume are affluent positions in the world, but tomorrow's my trash day. And you better believe I hope it get picked up by somebody.
that's right.
you know, and
That's right.
and
Somebody has to do it.
and it's good money and it's good benefits. It's not like these people are not, living hand to mouth. It's good money, it's good benefits. Somebody has to cut my
Absolutely.
grass. I have a lot of grass, and I look at the lawn man and I'm like, you caking it. Because if you getting this money for 10 lawns in a day, you caking it.
I thank my lawn man every time I see him. Hey man, you need anything? You want some water? You need some coconut water? Hey man, I really appreciate you, man, because it's hot out there. I
That's
got rid
right.
of all my equipment because I didn't
I,
want to do it. So, but you're right. Somebody has to do it, right? I have a philosophy. You can't be too prideful not to do what you have to do to take care of your family, right?
absolutely.
Legally. So if it required me to go shovel manure to take care of my family, I promise you I'll be the best manure shoveler ever,
Hmm.
because it's not just about me, and I don't worry about throw your pride out the windows. It's legal. I don't have to worry about looking over my shoulder. I don't have to worry about being arrested for shoveling manure. Now people are making money off of picking up dog poop.
I saw that. Yeah, like we'll clean your yard. I met somebody who actually cleans garbage cans.
Oh, the kids in my neighborhood, he'll come down every once in a while. Hey, can we clean your trash can? Sure. And I'll give them a couple of dollars and they'll clean it out. And I love when I see him come down here and do it, because that tells me, and he's probably, I don't know how old these kids are, maybe 12, I don't know, 13, but it shows me that he has work ethic and he's unashamed to do the dirty work. So that
Hmm.
tells me he'll go far in life because he was willing to do what nobody else is willing to do. Who wants to be known as the guy that clean the trash cans? But they don't know at the end of the day that trash man is raking up a whole lot of money.
That's right.
And his
And
money
and there's
spends just
people
like
out here that's
everybody else.
building entire businesses. Like I literally met someone that is their LLC. They come around and every quarter or so they're cleaning the garbage cans. And I think making sure that our youth, and like you said, our Black youth, our inner city youth, understand above and beyond that there is nothing that they can't or shouldn't do, right? To feed their family, to feed themselves, to be gainfully employed. I think about COVID, and the it redefined the essential worker.
Yeah,
If McDonald's or Joe Schmo restaurant wasn't open, where were you going? If the pharmacy wasn't open, how were you getting your medication? You know, if the man at the hospital, who wasn't the doctor, who wasn't the janitor, who is the person who just pushes your wheelchair, how are you getting from one department to the next department? How were we making sure that the rooms
yeah,
were clean and free of COVID when the next person got in there if we didn't have the custodial staff?
that part.
And so when we start thinking about what it is that we do in the community and what it is that we're teaching our youth, the cosmetologists, you know, I work in a lot of nursing homes, in a lot of places where people are in their twilight, and these cosmetologists come in and they provide an essential service. They make the people who are in their last days feel good.
Hmm.
And there is something about feeling good when your body feels bad. You know what I'm saying? Like that thing that makes you feel a way. Your toes are done, your nails are done. You got a little bit of makeup on, you got some curl and some bounce to your hair, and you know somebody gonna pick you up and take you to lunch for the day. Out the nurse, these are all such great industries for our children to go into. The things that people are not talking about or thinking about as often. And these let me tell you, these old ladies pay. These old men pay, because when you go up in there and we have a senior dance, and you know Joey over there is a widow and Tabitha over there is a widow, and they ain't looking to get married again, but you could come dance with me. Let me tell you, that brother man is going to the barbershop to get himself right.
That
So
part.
it is it's heartwarming to see people in the community coming through like you and making sure that our youth understand their options, what it is that they could do when they make mistakes, helping them to understand that they're redeemable,
Yeah.
helping them understand that if this organization won't mentor you or that organization won't mentor you, you will. You know, I've watched you work with those who others might say are unmentorable. And it means something. It means something in the community. Tell us what GCO is doing in the next 3 to 6 months.
Well, so that's a great question. Next 3 to 6 months, I need to get back on campaigning and raising money. So, to your point, COVID shifted a lot of things. So, in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
we jump started our scholars reception where we would give out scholarships and uh, academic stipends, and we would honor individuals from the community that was working either in civic engagement, education, or entrepreneurship. And
Mm-hmm.
so fast forward when COVID hit, it disrupted that. So honestly, I didn't know, nobody knew what to do in those moments, right? So we had to kind of recalibrate and figure out what it was that we was going to do. So we were fortunate. We got a phone call. Um, there's a back to school event that happens in St. Mary Parish, Louisiana, that's put
Mm-hmm.
together by Miss Stephanie Hartman, and she asked us, "Will we be a community partner?" And so I was like, you know what? I don't have to do the legwork in terms of coordinating the program and all the logistics, because anybody who's ever put together any type of big event, they know it's a lot of work. And so, and with my schedule, just between work, I'm in seminary school, my family responsibilities, it's taxing. So the next 3 to 6 months, I'm probably going to. So I dropped the ball this year, but we were still able to award $3,000 in scholarships just about 2 weeks ago. So I'm happy about that. But ideally, I would like to give out upwards of 10,000, if not more, and I think it's very much possible. And so I need to strategize and figure out a blueprint in the mix of, Chloe is a senior this year, so we're going to be trying to do a lot of college visits. I'm into my last year in seminary school as well. So really don't, that's a great question. I don't know. There's not a clear answer to your question. However, we're still going to be doing our part to try to raise money so that we can give it right back in scholarships. That's really my goal right now. And I have a bigger vision for the organization and things that I want to do for the future. And so my vision is much bigger. It's so big that it's legacy. It'll probably be still work that needs to be done when I take my last breath here on earth. So I'm excited about it. And so it's going to be a lot of seed sowing in the next 3 to 6
Mm-hmm.
months.
I hear you. I hear you. You said a word that um I hear a lot of people using, and me myself too. I think I view legacy a little bit different for me, but legacy is so important because the state of this world right now, the state of this country, there's so much uncertainty. And I think we have generations behind us that have this idea of what legacy should look like. And depending on who you talk to, it's a little bit scary to me. But I think it's our responsibility to lay a foundation and an understanding of the true meaning of what legacy looks like. When you think about different organizations, when you think about different people in your life, when you think about when you and I have conversations about my father, like just the idea of something going from here and being able to see the work, the inception, the growth, and all of those things moving forward, and something that keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And for GCO, for B-InPowerD, for so many organizations that I see, there's so much forward thinking. There's so much, like, there's such a futuristic way of approaching those outcomes. What would you like GCO and Ken White to be remembered as in the community?
Again, great questions, loaded. Fundamentally, I want people to be able to say, unlike you say that I'm not nice. I want them to be able to say he was really an humble servant. That's at the core of my life. That's who I am. I'm not really one that's really big on titles. I don't give a flip about no titles, right? Because in the sense of what's more important is the work behind the title, right? So I want people to be able to say that this was an organization with a leader that genuinely cared about the people, about all people. Take religion, politics, all of that aside. I honestly and genuinely care about the welfare of people. And because for those reasons, I march to a different drum.
I say
right?
that again.
I'm very, I'm very unorthodox in some of my approaches. I don't want to be stuck in the matrix. So I do things my way. Now that's not some egotistical, prideful statement. What I'm getting at is how I see things may be different from how someone else sees it. It doesn't make either right or wrong, just different. So my vision for this organization, it's not even my organization, it's for the people, is to build it to where we can really make bigger impacts. Now I love the fact that we've been able to help students and with their college endeavors. We've helped students with their, helping students, connecting them with different individuals in the military, even if it's just a conversation, right? So our motto is connecting you to resources. I tell them all the time, I don't know everything, I don't know everybody, but I'll do my part to help connect you to someone that may be able to facilitate whatever your needs are. So I want the organization to always, at the core and the foundation of who we are, is to keep that mindset. How can we help the next person out? So in one season, it may be, hey, we're going to focus on, food. One season, it may be on reentry programs, people that are formerly incarcerated or people that just can't find work, right? Because that's a huge need. I know individuals that are out of work and been out of work for over a year. And these are people that are college educated.
Yeah.
So needs change.
Yes.
Right. And because of that, I'm always looking at, well, how can we address that need? So that is the future, is always being able to adapt to the current environment to meet those current needs. Because what the needs are today is going to be different next season and the season thereafter. But at the core of it all is always about us addressing a need. So that's what I would want my legacy to be. But here's the reality. I live that legacy now. I'm always pouring into others, right? Including starting with my own daughter. I believe that I'm unfit to help your children if I don't help my own child, right?
Amen.
So I make sure that as a father and as parents, Rochelle and I, we make sure that we do everything within our power to make sure that she has the best available resources so that she can make, not us, but so that she can make the best decision as it relates to what her future is going to be. My responsibility is to help guide her and to help her to cultivate an understanding on how to see the world and how to see things so that she too can be able to make those decisions. Prime example, and my child is the type that you tell her something, okay, I hear you, but then you have to tell her the very same thing that I tell her, right? So she was taking driver's ed, and if you're around me long enough, especially if you're riding with me, I'm notorious for you want to. If I want to have a bad day, just put me on the highway because it's bad driving. Like, get out of the way. Long story short, before she was even driving, I would always show her rules of engagement when you're on the road. Because my uncle, I talked to my other uncle earlier, my uncle Daryl, I still remember this. We were driving, and I got over in the left lane. Said, nephew, what are you doing? So I'm just driving. He said, stay in the right lane. When you're driving, the right lane is where you need to be until you're passing, right? So these little small jewels, and I was a teenager. I remember that, but now it's my responsibility passing on to her. So, Chloe, what do you do in a scenario when you got to turn, right? And then she goes to driver's ed. The teacher says, you're the only student in the history that I've been teaching to ever get that question right. Like, hey, your father knows a little something about something, right? So my point is that you can't wait till you're dead to start passing along information. If I have the information, it is my responsibility to be a part of the village. So if I have something that can help your kids, it's my responsibility to say, hey, Kim, here you go. This can help you, help your family. But too many times I've seen where people, even when I started my organization, people wanted to, well, I'll help you, pay me $1,500, $2,500. Okay, thank you. I literally sat down and just did the work. And so when others have asked me, hey, man, this is what you need to do. Now, I can't do it for you, but I give you everything that you need to know to do it because I did the work. I took out the time to do it. Now, if you want me to do it now, that's when I have to charge you because I'm giving you the information for free. So I believe that we have to be willing to share this information that we have now because it shapes everybody. So there's 3 individuals that we all need in our lives. One, being a mentor, someone that can pour into your life, that can help you navigate life, right? And it's not about them always being right and wrong, but it's about them being able to help you, right? Then the second person is what I call your accountability partner. That's the individual that you probably spend a lot of time talking with as well, because you've got this information from your mentor. Now you got to be able to share with somebody, and iron sharpens iron, right? So now we're becoming better men. But here's the rule of multiplication. Now it's our responsibility to now pour back into those younger generation, and with the goal of helping them to minimize the detours in life. And in the event that they do detour, you'll have the necessary resources to get back on track. And so I believe in that model. And I believe that when we do those things, now we are eroding away a lot of the flaws that we see in the world. Because if I'm giving you the understanding of why college is so important, or education, let me not just say college, but education, because education goes beyond the 4 walls of any institution, right? If I can help you understand why the marriage, the unity of marriage is so important, and not all of this new stuff that we seeing with, I'm gonna have all these concubines and this and that. If I can help you understand why this is important, if I can help you understand the importance of financial literacy, and don't go spending your COVID money on Gucci and Prada, and take that money and invest it to make your money work for you. If I can help you to understand that, now we're taking away and we're building for the future. If I can help you understand the importance of the same thing my uncle told me years ago. He said, nephew, buy you some land. Before he said, what's the one thing that they're not making no more of? That's how he talked to me. So now you're like, huh? I don't know. Land. They ain't making no more land. And I'm like, you sure right, Uncle. They're not making no more land. And he got 100 acres of land right now that he's been trying to convince me to come look at. He doesn't have it, but he's aware. He said, you need to come look at this land. We think you need to buy this land. But he's on to something. He's
He
on to
is.
something, right?
Absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely.
how we build generational wealth. That's how we build legacy. That's how we can dismantle the stereotypes of the uneducated Black man. We got so much power, so much influence, but we got to now redirect it in ways that is productive and reproductive so that we can begin to build a better today for a better today on when today comes tomorrow. There's no such thing as tomorrow. Me and my mentor, we laugh about that all the time. When tomorrow you see is today, right? So we're always looking at how can we build today so when today comes again, we're better situated to handle the things that comes with life. So
Yeah.
that's where we
You
are.
said something there that's you said you said a lot of things that are important, but I wanna highlight the fact that you said you are always talking to your mentor. And I think it's important for people to know that even at our ages, we still have mentors.
Yeah, yeah,
We still have
yeah.
people who we seek counsel from, people who we have those conversations with. That is that is it's paramount in our lives that we have that person who can mirror us, that person who can set us back straight. But what I heard you say in all of what you said is that community is like the bumpers at the bowling alley. That's what I heard you say.
Let me write that
And
down.
make sure you credit me for it. Community is like the bumpers at the bowling alley because when you're getting ready to hit that gutter, that bumper knocks you back into line. And so we as the sandwich generation, that's what we are right now. We are the sandwich generation. We're taking care of our elders. We have the youngins underneath us that are not trying to hear us right now, and we're right there in the middle with the ability to knock some things around and get them back on track. And so that is what community feels like to me.
Yeah,
And you know, I see Fred in our comments. You introduced me to the man who helped me buy this house that I'm sitting in right now. That's
and y'all
community.
didn't see me not one piece of money, no silver, no
I
nothing.
fed you. I
I didn't
fed you.
even
I
get
brought
it. I didn't get no empanadas or nothing.
you did. You came over. You had empanadas and everything else that was on the menu. And I have you back over for some more. But yeah, there has never been a time that I've called you, emailed, text, whatever, and said I need to know X, Y, and Z. And if you
Mm-hmm.
didn't have an answer right away, you helped me find the answer. You introduced me to people that helped in different ways. In fact, I remember you introduced me to a different broker first. And I was like, nah, I can't work with them. Like it was like oil and what I was like, that ain't gonna work. And he was like, all right, I got somebody else for you. And Fred came along and I met Fred for the first time in 2019. And after my father got killed, I couldn't buy. Too much had happened. And he and I stayed in contact. He helped me, with answers to a bunch of questions. And then the following year, because of the relationship, when I
Mm-hmm.
was ready, I called Fred back and we saw it all the way through. And so it's relationship, but it's real relationship because you're not afraid to tell me when my stuff stink. I ain't afraid to tell you if your stuff is stinking. We bicker all day long, but at the heart of it is genuine admiration, respect, and love. You send me a flyer, show up. I'ma show up. You know what I'm saying? I'm celebrating something can come through. You gonna come through, and so what's that formula? How do we reproduce? You said we need to make it reproducible. How do we reproduce that?
Well, you got to throw your pride out the window. It's a mindset. It's as simple as that. If I can help you, why would I not help you? So it doesn't make sense to me when someone doesn't want to help. And it doesn't require me to know you to be able to help you. So it has to be something within you. And again, that goes back to my village. So my mentors are not only my parents, but my uncles and my aunts. My uncle, I told you, he called me today. He said, nephew, I hadn't heard from you in a while. So I know, and this is the same uncle that taught me about driving in the right lane when I was a teenager, right? That was only 2 years ago. So, but that's what it is. How can I help? If there's a way, I'll do it. I can't tell you the countless times I've received phone calls to go help someone with their children or this or that, and I don't speak on it, and I won't even do it on this platform to give the details of it, but it's just within me. My wife would tell you, she'd be like, I wouldn't do it. She already knows I'm gonna do it, right? Because I just my motto is always do what's right, because I would rather wrestle with that individual than to wrestle with God. Because I've done it and it's not peaceful. So and I like my peace and I like my sleep. So what I would rather do is do what I know I've been called to do. So how can I? So to me, it's really that simple. Get rid of the pride. And if watch this, I've heard this. I told a young man one time. This is some years back. He was probably in his 20s. He got into it with this elder lady. This lady, I think, was in her 70s. He has to earn my respect. I'm about to pull my hair out just revisiting that. I said, hold up, young man. I said, hold up. You got this all wrong. There's no such thing as earning your respect. And if it is, that lady has surely lived long enough for you to be able to respect her. I saw a video just right before we got on where Miss Maya Angelou had to address a young lady. I think it was
I saw
on
that.
Oprah show or something. And she asked her a question and she says, Maya, young lady, it's Miss Angelou to you, right? So it was baffling to me, but I would rather. How can I help you? Again, that goes back to the principle of who I am. So you mentioned Fred. Y'all can't see it on here because my background is blurred and Kim wouldn't show me how to get it off. Something wrong with her system. But watch this. Fred has written this book along with his wife. They wrote a book with their kids called Smart Choices, Bright Futures. And it's really geared towards showing your kids and your grandkids on the value of money and saving, so financial literacy, right? So here you are talking about me, but I'm willing to share some information that could help somebody else out. So make sure you get your books. So Fred, put your information in the chat so they can go ahead and support.
Yes.
And I'm like on Shark Tank. I want royalties.
Yeah,
I want $1 royalty for every book that's sold.
Fred ain't getting $1 off them books.
I don't care what he getting. I'm just telling you what I want. So yeah. But it's just easy. How can we all get along, right? So I share the information. All of my mentors, they're always willing to pour into me. But here's the key: I'm willing to listen.
Yeah.
One of my mentors, when I met him, that was his words to me. He said, listen, I'll mentor you. He says, but you got to be willing to listen. And I was like, well, that's easy to do. He didn't know at the time I mentor a lot of kids. And that's what I would tell them. Like, listen, I'm willing to help you as far as you're willing to receive my information. And what you do with it is on you until you show me that you're not really doing anything actionable to change your situation and your narrative. So I'm appreciative. I have a huge village of people that love me and support me, and I don't take that for granted.
That's right.
And I do my best to make them all proud. I try to live a life that's commendable, that people can say, I'm proud to know that young man. And so from there,
you have to
it's
drop
always
the young
about
a little
happening.
bit, but I understand what you're saying.
Hey, I'm super young. I don't believe in old, Kim. I'm never. If you come to my house, I guarantee this is what I'm gonna do for you next time you come over. I'm gonna put before you. I'm gonna put two options. It's gonna be steak, wine, and cheese. I'm gonna say on one side, you got some old steak, wine, and cheese. And on this side, you got some aged steak, wine, and cheese. Which one do you want?
It won't matter because I don't eat steak.
Turn my camera off. But you get my point. It's a mindset. Everything that we do is really a mindset when you really break it down. So if you're willing to help, you're willing to help. If you don't help, this happened to me the other day. I think this is a good place to plug this in. This gentleman tells me, and it always amazes me the things that people just want to share with you and you don't ask for. So I just listen.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I'm not racist. So right when he said that, I knew, oh boy, here we go. I'm not racist, but I just don't like these illegal immigrants coming to the U.S. And I'm sitting there like, okay, dude, that's your choice. That's your prerogative. You're not getting me to say anything about this because you sound like a crazy man, and I don't want to end up in somebody's swamp. But that's a mindset, right? That's a mindset. So how can you love with so much hate and bitterness in your heart? I love everybody. I don't care where you're from. You know, and plus I think the world is so much cooler having the diversity in life. Because if everybody was like you, oh my goodness.
Whatever.
Woo!
But I can't get rid of you. I'm like you. I don't covet information. You know, if I have the information, I believe it's to be shared. I think there's enough out there for everybody. Too often we have this scarcity mindset, this idea that there's not enough, but there is. There's enough information, there's enough resources, there's enough everything for all of us to win. You know, nobody has to be left behind. And I think I don't know what it's rooted. I don't know if it's rooted in capitalism. I don't know I don't know if it's rooted in white supremacy. I don't it's and probably a combination of all of those things, right?
Yeah.
But it's I'm going to win no matter what. I can give everything away and I'm still going to win because I'm going to do the work that it takes for me to be okay. And so I share information just as freely as you do. And I think it makes me feel good to do it. It feels good to watch other people's dreams come to fruition. It makes me feel good to watch people accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. And it makes me feel good to be behind the scenes and be able to do it. Like I hate those videos where it's like you see. I no, just do what you're supposed to be doing. You don't have to be seen. Nobody's worst day needs to be televised. Like just do what you're doing. And so because you give so much back, I want to end this podcast with ways that we can give to you, to your organization. How do we support GCO in the next coming years, months? What can we do for this to grow into the legacy building institution that we know it is ordained to be?
Great question again. And I would say this, that's part of my struggles. Um, because I'm a giver, it's not easy for me to ask for help because it don't take much for you. Once you disappoint me, it's like, I'm good, right? Even now, people ask me how am I able to do so much. So I'm grateful for every contribution, every dollar that anyone has ever given. I don't care if it was $2 or $200, right? So essentially, ways you can help is we want to continue our efforts in being able to send kids to school. I was trying to see if I can pull it up on my phone, but you can text GCO to 44321. You can become a contributor, whether you do it monthly, one time, gift or whatever. But that's the simplest way that you can support us. You can also, we're on social media. I'm working on doing a better job, and my wife does a awesome job in picking up the slack for me a lot of times and being able to add information to our social media. But if you go to our social media, we're on Facebook at you can look us up by Gulf Coast Organization, or connect the number two, then GCO. Connect the number two, GCO. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Connect number two, GCO. Follow us, like us, share whatever information that we share. I guess to help us grow a bigger audience, that'll put more pressure on me to make sure we're uploading more information. And the information that we share is helpful. A lot of times it's about scholarships. A lot of kids don't know, even though they're in college, they still qualify for scholarships. So we try to put positive information into the world, because again, it doesn't take much for me to give you information, right? Everybody's entitled to the same information. It's what you do with it. So when we say, "Well, I didn't know," it's because you didn't want to know. You didn't seek the knowledge, but you can tell me when the next, whatever sneakers coming out. You can tell me the date is dropped. You can tell me when John Madden is going to be dropping, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not suggesting that, but we have to prioritize, right?
Yeah.
So that's the simplest way. Text GCO to 44321, and you can see it'll send out a link to Give Lively, where, like I say, you can donate. Just put us on rotation, whatever your heart desires. I know, Kim, you got a lot of money over there. $1,000 a month is nothing for you. So I'm
As soon as you send me that
expecting great
$1,000
things.
check.
I'm expecting, if you pay your lawn man $1,500 a week, you surely can give us 1,000. So yeah,
Listen, we're gonna make sure that Give Lively link and every other link that gets them to you is in this chat. When we post this, we're gonna make sure that everybody knows how to get to you. I thank you for the work that you do.
thank you.
We fight, but I love you down for real. On purpose, because it really has to be on purpose for me to love you.
Everybody knows it's not hard to love me. I am a nice guy. I believe I'm the nicest person that anybody will ever encounter in life. And
I
I
don't
say
know.
that humbly.
I still like you because my daddy liked you. My daddy really did like you.
See, he met me
Last
one time
words.
and he was like, "I like this young fellow." See,
Yeah, he did for
yeah.
sure. Last words. Take us out.
Well, thank you for the invitation and thinking enough to want to invite me onto your platform. I'm always honored just to be able to talk a little bit about the organization and what we're doing in the community. It just brings me joy to do it. So my encouragement to anybody out there: finish the work, whatever it is that your heart desires. Just finish it. Going back to school, finish it. You want to start that organization, finish it. And then but work on yourself first, so that you can be all that you can be for the world. The world is an open canvas. Go paint it the way you see fit, but do it in a way that makes such an impact that even once you're gone, people are still talking about you, just in the same vein as MLK, right? I want them to talk about us in such a way that they want to create holidays. But that's not why we do it. Just know that, whatever it is that your heart desires, do it from a place of love, from a place of joy, and everything else to just work itself out. So don't worry about what you don't have, or don't worry about the detours that you've had to take. Don't worry about, the multiple times you've had to pivot. Don't worry about the doors that have been closed. Change your mindset. You know what it is that you're trying to do. Keep at it. Stay focused. Keep working. Cry when you have to. Stay up late when you have to. Get up early when you have to. Say no when you have to. Say maybe when you have to. Whatever it is, finish the work.
That's right. So that's the call to action. Do the work, finish the work, and be part of the community. Be truly a person in the community that drives community, that does community, and that makes community better. Thank you for joining us on the B-InPowerD Movement. Ken, I love you. Thank you so much.
Love you much. Thank you.